Alright, this review is for the Premier Pro Series PE4 braided line from Wish.
Whoa! Wow!
Got one of these, I could get it in his mouth if you want me to.
I think
They're talking that,
I just looked up the price on it again because I couldn't remember what I paid for it. A couple dollars. The deal I was seeing right now is $1.75 for a spool, plus whatever shipping is. So, under $5. And right now I've got this spooled up on 2 of my rods. I put the whole spool on one rod and used the leftover to lengthen what I had on a different reel. I'm pretty impressed with it so far. To give you a reference, I like it better than spider wire, which it's obviously a spider wire imitation. They're trying to mimic the logo and everything. But I like it better than the spider wire. I have issues with the spider wire fraying. I have issues with the spider wire breaking down over time and becoming weak and just ripping apart randomly. It just doesn't last. The knots break a little easier with the spider wire than some of the other kinds of braid. My favorite braid is Power Pro. That's what I typically use. This is not quite as nice as the Power Pro. The main thing is it does loosen and become less rigid quicker than the Power Pro. Power Pro just stays the same for like a whole year and is still totally fishable for several years beyond if you don't break off so many times that there's not enough left on the spool. This stuff lasts absolutely forever. This stuff, so if I were to show you what this line looked like color-wise when I first got it, it was a brighter red. So this is faded a bit. I actually just spooled this on here maybe 2 weeks ago, and I'm just starting to notice the color fading a little bit. The color fading isn't really an issue so much, but you can tell over time that the line softens and loses its rigidity, and that's not ideal. It's not the end of the world. I haven't noticed that it weakens to the point to where the line frays and becomes weakened, which is always the biggest issue that I've had with cheap braid. This spool here I spooled up 6 months ago when I first got the spool. You can tell the line is much more faded here. It's much whiter looking. But again, I've had this spooled for about 6 months. I've caught lots of big pike.
fish! Yes! Yes, yes, yes! And it seems to handle a fish alright too. February pike on the shadow wrap.
Huge carp on this rig right here. I've fought lots of nice fish, toothy critters, you know, snags, hang-ups. It does break, usually at the knot, like I would expect with braid. I'm using the 20-pound here, which is my preference for river fishing, because when this guy gets hung into a log, I can just pull it until the hook straightens, because the hook will straighten before the line will snap, and that saves me a lot of money on lures when I'm fishing heavy cover on the river. So that's my whole logic behind braid in the first place. The red color, the idea is that it's less visible, because red light is less visible in the spectrum, so it's the first thing to disappear. I find that it's as good, if not better, than the green or whatever other colors, camo or whatever you can get. So that's that. The one other area in which the Premier is not as nice as, say, the Power Pro is when you're tying the knots, I find that when I go to pull slack out, it creates this like unexpected grip, and then I have to really like grab it with pliers and like yank it to get it to tighten. So it's a little more cumbersome to tie like a polymer knot with compared to either of the Power Pro or the spider wire, but it's not an issue all the time. It's just something that I've run into a few times and kind of noticed. Again, the knot strength, the line strength is all on point. So overall, I would say this is definitely a good bang for the buck. It takes a long time to get anything that you order off of Wish because it's getting shipped from way over in China. But if you're looking to stock up on some good cheap braid, I would check out the Premier. The Premier Pro Series PE4 is a great budget-friendly line that I intend to get more of myself. So if you're looking for a good deal, save yourself some money, you got a bunch of rods that need to be re-spooled, check this stuff out.
Don't forget to subscribe.